Ladies.
Yo, 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 yo.
Howdy.
Check the drip. Look at
Oh, they see
drip.
it. Folks, welcome back. Episode 113 of the Producer's Lounge.
113. Wow.
Yes, I know.
Out there.
Big ups to us and big ups to our guest, Eos. Eos.
Wow.
Welcome
Thanks
back.
for having me, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
welcome
coming back. Round 2 with us.
Folks,
Gonna be a good one. Pumped.
excuse me. Folks who are new, this is a music production show, okay? Don't get it confused. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
Please continue.
Sums it up.
Mm-hmm. They can figure it out from there. Happy 4th, by the way. Anybody listening in America? It was a beautiful night last night.
How much fun are fireworks? And all the reflections of all the houses. That's my favorite part. You get all the weird, like...
Yeah, and all the houses were wet now, too. So I don't know if that added...
Didn't hear about a single fire. Didn't hear about
No.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
I'm sure they
sure.
were. I'm sure they were. Sure.
But also, would that affect the sound quality coming off a roof? If there's water, would you get even more
Absorbed a
high
little
end?
bit?
No, or would it not? Would it
or
bounce?
Would it reflect?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Smooths out the surface maybe with
right,
the water. I don't know.
right. So it's going to reflect a little more highs.
I imagine it
little more-
absorbs
a little
because
more
water's
echo.
thicker
Feels
than
a little
air.
more like
so
plastic or some shit.
Right.
It's basically
Right.
like turning up the feedback on the delay. Like you just get a little bit more out of it when it's wet.
So you tell me in a drum recording room we should have some waterfall walls on either side.
Oh,
I mean, if
shit.
Love that.
It is going to increase the wetness.
Yep. There it was. There it is.
Okay.
You just have a subtle noise floor of water in all your drum recordings.
That would be tight.
Little
I like to
trickle.
record my drums only
Underwater.
in a underwater.
Okay, let's be clear. In a submersible. Okay? Is it too late?
Too soon.
Too soon? No way. No way, dude. In the submersible.
In the submersible.
Dude. Implosion. That's one sound right there.
New sound
It's a
pack.
special sound.
New sound pack.
Implosion.
Sound
New
pack.
sound pack.
Submersible
Implosion.
implosions. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Wow, off to a great start here.
Speaking of implosions,
Yeah.
how often does everybody put reverse bits before their drum hits?
Okay.
Love that.
In certain situations.
Mm.
I also love that. I
Frequency.
feel like I don't do it enough.
Frequency of doing it.
Yeah. Like how often do you do it on every track? A lot,
Yeah.
or on one track? Like you'll do it a lot because it's the vibe of the track, and then most tracks like you keep it whatever.
Mm.
I do it on a lot
almost-
of tracks, probably
Okay.
like maybe like half of them. And
Okay.
kind of like,
Sick.
and it's not always reverses. Sometimes I'll generate like a texture or something, and then just make swells into the hits.
Oh, right.
Or
Right.
Some sort
Foley
of a
crumples or
yeah,
something.
Some sort
Right.
of swell sound to
Yeah.
get into it.
Some
Reverb
prologue.
throws.
That's
Those are
nice.
always the fun one. And then you like process the reverb sound.
Right.
Love that
Reverse
shit.
it or whatever,
Mhm.
or reverse the thing, reverb it, chop it, then
Convolute
reverse
it.
it. You know what I'm saying? That
Right.
old trick. Classic bit.
I had a whole phase where I was like obsessed with doing it with snares. But for whatever reason, I don't know, it's just kind of like died out. I like never really do it. Probably because I'm doing it with other effects instead of just like reversing the snare or reversing a different snare
Right.
into it. It's kind of just something else acting as a placeholder. But that shit is so
Reverb
much
throws, delay throws, or even like doing a reverb like on the master, resample the master out. And do it on that.
fun. There you go.
That's a fun move.
Every once in a while, I'll throw a reverb on the master.
Nice. Little grain delay. Grain delay is a fun one. So hectic
It's
though.
lessening the amount I'd throw a reverb on the master, but
I'll throw it on and then resample it and then not like
ooh,
or maybe like automate on the device, but
I'd be down with that. Like,
I definitely have those
put it as a
similar
separate
things.
audio track.
Yeah.
that gets the side chain and shit
Mm-hmm.
too.
Right. You could just do a bus and just
Yeah.
mix it into where you want it or whatever.
Print the bus.
Mm-hmm.
That too.
Print the bus.
I remember I was working on a track
Hardest
and I had
name?
a what?
Is that what you said? Print the bus?
Print the bus is a fun phrase. That's all I said.
Oh.
Print the bus.
Print
I
the
don't know. Sorry.
Almost lost it. No, we're good. I was working on this bass riff for a track, and for some reason I cranked the reverb into a bunch of OTTs. Classic bit. I think I was trying to get like a Mefuse. There was like a Mefuse track that had like this suction of like the bass, and I was like, what can I do here to kind of get a similar effect? So I was like fucking with reverb and OTTs and other like volume shapers and shit to like really shape it somehow, and then I just ended up printing the whole channel with everything pretty wet, and then I left the other channel still there, and I just deleted all the fucking reverbs and shit, and then I just chopped out all the swells and just like faded and further processed them, and it ended up like working fairly well.
That's fun.
After like not really working, and then I just needed to go like one step further to like really just like, oh, now it's just one audio thing I just have to chop, and I ended up like using kind of the same one over and over, basically because there was like one that was really good that hit on the root note.
Love using reverb on basses more and more. A lot of times I end up redoing the sub later maybe, or just like doing a split. But,
Right, exactly.
That and IR, like cabinet simulations and
Hell
other
yes,
impulse
dude, I love
responses.
fucking
Yeah.
cabinets.
I've been using M cabinet on a lot of basses now.
Dude, it's so
Melda.
good, right?
Yes.
So
Dude.
good. Yeah.
M cab is tight as fuck.
And I think there's a free. I think you have to pay for M cabinet, or there's probably a demo version. There's one called Voxengo Boogex, I think, which is like a free cabinet or impulse response loader. And then the guy, I think maybe the same guy that makes that, I think he's like Le Poulain is like, I think his like website, but he has a bunch of like guitar cabinet recreations. Like he records the impulse response through them and just throws them up on his site for free.
Fucking
Oh,
sick, dude.
nice.
Cabs.
That's cool.
Bitwig's amp has a couple little cabs that you can kind of like mix in and shit. There's one preset they have that I throw on every kick now. It's starting to become like a kick thing that I do now, which I normally don't like, but it's such a good little fucking thing. You just throw this on, you just load the pre, just slamming into it, and it gets this just almost gabber kind of squeal, and then you just turn the mix to like 10%, and it meshes every time. Like every time it meshes so well.
Kind of like pushes the tonality out of it.
Yeah, and I don't know. Yeah, it's
Is it
and
doing
then-
a stereo thing?
No.
It's a mono.
And then I can kind of fuck with the cabinets from there, and
Okay.
like if it doesn't like mesh, and you can kind of start like making it work
Nice.
better with the source. But besides that, you were talking about doing a split on a bass, like a multi-band split. Recently, I've been putting like almost a slapback on just like one mid. Like I'll take the band and I'll put it between like 800 to 1K, or it kind of depends. I'll put it there, and then later on when I'm trying to like mix the basses together or see how they're all fitting, I can go and move that mid band where the reverb is to kind of add tone where there's missing in that spot of the bass.
Nice.
By just kind of like pushing it a little bit more. And sometimes I'll even push it fairly well, but then go into the reverb and turn its wet dry, because I don't want that much reverb, but I do want the basically doubling of that band, just to get more tone out of there. But the body that the slapback can give in like a weird spot on the bass is really fun.
That's nice.
It
And
is
you
just
can
that.
kind of find a spot on the bass where it works, like on just a certain note. And then I've been using I'm sure that there's a note following device in Bitwig that does this as well. In Ableton, there's a Max for Live called Note Follower that lets you define a low end and a high end frequency. So whatever knob you're mapping it to, or EQ or whatever, say the EQ goes from like 10 hertz to 22,000 instead of 20,000. You can define that in the plugin so it knows. Then you map, and then whenever you set up your EQ based on that based on it being mapped, and then whenever you move the note, you'll still maintain that tonality that you liked about the one note across all the others.
So sick.
It'll key track.
Yeah,
basically.
exactly. It's like
It's
key
like-
tracking in the channel instead of in the synth.
The other way I've done that is I'll just flatten down where it sounds best, and then I'll just use it as if it's a stab, but it's a bass stab
Resample
now.
it.
Yeah, and I'll just resample
Nice.
it, put it back into a sampler, and just redo the riff with that now note that sounds the best.
True.
But both of
That
those
is
are
a good
different.
move.
Those are different. They give you different
Yeah.
vibes.
Mm-hmm.
It's I find it hard to make like specific sounds like that like are specific to the note. Key tracking kind of helps with that sort of thing, but I oftentimes I'm not willing to put in the effort to do the like grind of trying to figure out exactly where the fucking key tracking goes to where it sings all the way around. It's almost inevitable it will never work that way, which is kind of fun also. But I also like it if I could achieve that, then I would feel weird about just kind of like the sound itself, because then it kind of becomes static all of a sudden.
Right. You're kind of working backwards now.
It could be nice if you're writing a phrase and certain points all of a sudden another tonality comes in and almost is writing a harmony to what you're doing.
Right.
Right. There are ways you can bend it now that you know you can control it.
Yeah,
Like
that's
you-
true.
And that
you
too,
can-
That's true.
yeah.
That's fun. That's really fun.
But you can also like bend it to your will, but then put a random on whatever's bending it, so then it like slightly doesn't hit right every time. So you do get a little bit of the goof back. Damn, Delinquent says, "Damn the man." Oh shit,
Howdy, bud.
that's what I'm saying.
Damn,
This
the
guy
man
knows
in
you,
the
dude.
building.
Dude,
You're famous.
We got John in here too.
Oh, little Johnny boy.
Now that I think about it, I probably should hit up the Discord because everybody's probably like, "Oh, they didn't do it on Tuesday."
Right.
Speaking of,
Yeah, we didn't even honor the government. We just took it off. And then we're like, here, American flags,
Right.
Represent.
We did the thing. We skipped the day.
Yeah.
There were explosions. It was pretty fun. It is fun to celebrate by just exploding shit.
Well, I was telling
Couldn't be more American.
Amber this yesterday, I think. Amber or Dallas? I think it was Amber. But it's funny how every year we take this time to re-simulate the war that we won. We're just like, fuck you, British, check this out. We're just going to like, look, look, it's,
That's hilarious.
We're
I've
the
never
best.
Thought about it like that.
like it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I kind of love it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
I just like blowing shit up.
it's nice and honoring.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
Yeah, I just like I like the fact that somebody could lose a finger. It's our right to be like ridiculous. And
Oh, it
have these
definitely
things.
happened.
Like, yeah,
Last night.
oh yeah, somebody lost a finger somewhere. Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
Probably a few people.
lesson learned. Hopefully, if not, well, cheers.
Yeah. Drink a few less drinks
Yeah.
before you light the fireworks off.
Yeah.
That's basically the rule.
Or have a DD. Just like if everybody ends up getting hammered, just have one dude who's like goes out in the street and launches them. He's
the guy who's already
sober.
missing one finger.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. He's sober.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Don't worry, guys, I'm
It's
pro."
like, I got this.
I would never make that mistake again.
My face! Oh, my face!
Yeah, 4th of July. Such a good time, though. I just always love, I brought it up already, but the reflections from the little transients of the explosion, you just hear them bounce around everywhere. And it's like a hard delay from when it happens.
You just
Sounds so
imagine
cool.
all of the dogs hiding inside of the homes on every time the delay hits.
Oh, yeah.
I think about that every single firework that I see. I'm just like, oh, some dog hates this.
Oh yeah, my family dog growing up did not like fireworks. Thunder, fireworks, same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Our hood cat doesn't like fireworks either.
Our hood cat, yeah. Shout out Trunk.
Doesn't like it.
Yep.
Yeah.
He adopted y'all.
Exactly, yeah. It's his garage. He lets us use it from time to time.
Yeah. I almost never put reverses on my drums. But when I do, I'm always so pumped about it.
I know, right?
Every single time I do it, I enjoy it so much.
Yeah.
And then I just never really do it.
Right.
Yeah, it's like I
It's
forget
hilarious.
or something. But I was listening to Kyoto did a little Instagram of like a garage track that he's working on.
I saw that.
And the drums sound like they're just like the wind is running through them. They're so like, and I was just like, oh, it sounds so sick. Like, what the fuck? This sounds so nice. And I was like curious. I'm like, I wonder if you could like tailor a bunch of white noise puffs to like all kind of work on the drums together.
Yeah.
So like envelope follower. Or
Right,
gate,
right, exactly.
gate,
Have
or
something
like,
on, right.
A lot of like
Exactly what I was
plugins like RC20 kind of have some stuff like that built into
Right,
them.
where they'll follow instead of duck or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we kind of talked about doing something like that, but then you have like
But I
a
wanna-
drum rack full of like 127 different random white noise samples, so it's kind of a different little tone every time it hits. Also,
Right, that's another thing.
Something like that would
I
be
would
cool.
want.
yeah, just a little extra saucy layer on top, you know.
Yeah. A folder that's all white noise would be pretty nice.
Yeah,
Just
No,
slap,
I don't have
slap
one of
phase
those,
plan
but
on there
I'd be
and turn the
interested.
random knob up,
Right.
and you got it.
Last time I was kicking it with John, that's one of his new hype things. Is he's collecting a bunch of different types of white noise now.
Oh, really?
He's got
Hilarious.
The thing. Yeah,
I'm a white noise collector.
white noise connoisseur.
Yes.
I've been using white noise as a FM source recently on like 2%,
Great.
and it
Yeah.
kind of just like gives,
Oh.
gives some
Slow.
like grit, like a little bit of it kind of tunes the noise
Okay.
a little bit in a similar way to how if you push a loud sub note into white noise and into a wave shaper, it'll tune the noise, and all of a sudden it becomes a note. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
What are you using to do this? You're doing it just
Anything.
in the effects chain?
Well, if we were gonna tune white noise normally, we could just do it with operator and saturator with on like a wave any wave shaper and anything with noise and a sub and a sine tone.
But what's the root of this? What were you saying?
Oh, I was using it as an FM source.
Right,
So
okay.
and whichever synth, just picking a white
okay.
noise sample or a source, and then using that as the source of the FM, will just like basically give it a noisy noise layer in
Right.
like a way that doesn't sound just like a static white noise sample. It kind of plays
Yeah.
in and out of
Yeah.
the dynamics of the bass.
I will do
Yeah.
Who opened
noise
this shit?
on
Open that shit.
phase modulation in phase plant for sure. But that's what I was trying to figure out. It's like how you're going about doing this.
And then
'Cause
the
I
other
don't-
thing that I really like doing is using a ring mod on noise.
Oh, I always forget about ring mod.
ring mod on
Or-
on noise.
Or
I like
note,
that.
a note tracked ring mod on the noise. Even
Huh.
better.
Yeah, yeah.
I do a lot of risers that way, though, where I automate on the wet dry of a ring mod
So
on
you get
top
all
of
the
noise
little-
that
Oh, yeah.
has like
Fucking
it's at like
brilliant.
10 hertz or something. And
There you
so
go.
instead of giving it like a ringing tone, it just gives it the oscillation.
Right. Yeah, that's a sick move. Yeah, that's kind of a move. It sounds
I
like
almost bought Bitwig like 3 times this week.
Oh yeah.
Bitwig-
Oh, you've been thinking
Bitwig-
about it?
Yeah, I'm working
5
with
is
this
pretty tight.
really cool Australian producer. I think you pronounce it Break, but it's BRAEK. And
noise?
everything that I
Yeah,
that I
no,
like
it's
want to do
listening.
or I do in Ableton that is like frustrating.
Oh,
He has a solution in Bitwig that like makes it easier. And
oh
I'm
he's
like,
a Bitwig boy.
Just calling to you
looking
more and
good.
more.
Oh, yeah.
I like this guy. I like
Right.
this guy
I
already.
know Skylar's
Oh, yeah.
using Bitwig now. He's playing live with Bitwig.
Who's that?
Jade Cicada.
Oh,
He's
Jade
using
Cicada.
Bitwig.
Really?
I really like watching.
He's
Yeah.
performing with it,
I believe so. Yeah.
Whoa.
Shout out.
Interesting.
dude.
And there's this
You know,
guy
come on the
YouTube
pod. Come
I
on the
really
pod,
like.
baby.
Yeah, get on here, guy.
Let's go.
There's a guy, Data Broth, who's phenomenal to watch on YouTube. He doesn't talk. He just like generates, and he's on Bitwig. It's looking mighty pretty.
He doesn't
Dude,
talk.
I know, right? Every time we're in it or we bring it up, there's always something where I'm like, damn, that's sick. That
So
looks
I
fun.
would be just taking the output of this noise and putting it on the phase for phase modulation. Is this kind of the idea?
Yeah.
And then
Are you doing it with the sine, or do you have some fun waveforms in there?
how would
Sine's
you
a great
do
place
it?
to kind of like get the feel of it.
Word.
how do you go about tuning it then?
So it's already
that
kind of.
Well, the sine wave's tuning.
So say
it
we
in
want
a way.
if I was going to make it, I think in this way it's making it like related where it comes in kind of in between the tone. It doesn't sound quite like just white noise.
Right.
It's like
sure.
feeding in and out of it. If I was gonna tune a noise instead of adding it into the phase, although we should just leave it going in and turn off the phase modulation later. Just throw a wave shaper on this track, like M wave shaper or anything you got.
The best wave shaper, dude.
Gotcha.
So crank that to 100 and then square me off a bit.
Do you want it linear?
Doesn't matter. But let's can I snag that mouse from you?
Yeah.
So let's just go in here. So if we then grab a EQ, just a normal
At the very top, the EQ plus.
EQ plus.
Yep.
There we go. And then let me shift this to low cut. So if we turn that off, and then maybe we.
Oh.
Let me make this a steeper slope. And so depending on how
Where's the wobble coming from?
it's coming from the note also because I moved it down an octave.
Oh, I see.
So depending on what octave you're in. And we're actually getting a lot of tones, so we could probably ease back on the wave shaper. How do I open this back up?
It still is open.
Uh-huh.
Oh no, you clicked the red box of doom.
Let's maybe make
Oh, those fun little shapes in there.
we're making a lot of tonality in this too, but
Also, hang on, let me check the FM.
I think I turned the FM off.
Oh, I see. So we're there's no white noise at all.
There we go. That's why we're.
Yeah, you'll have to fuck with the gain.
Okay, so we feed this in.
Noise score. Noise score.
Yeah, in general, I find it more interesting than just the noise on top. So I would make some sort of noise layer that I like, or we could add a ring mod on this too.
Yeah, do it.
Or we could use the kilohertz one, but
I've not fucked with Bibby.
Let's add one more ring mod at the end.
Hilarious to cue the typing. Let's add a ring mod. Kind of fun. It would be actually nice to collab on tracks like this.
So I'd
where
probably
one
just split
person
this
takes the
off.
keyboard, one person takes the mouse.
Right. It's kind of fun.
All right,
Dude, yeah, that's such a fun
remote
way to get
control.
the flutter. That's sick.
And then I would just use this as a layer on top of whatever bass that I made and turn it up or down into probably
ring
glue
mod.
it into the new bass with even more distortion.
Okay,
Right,
the ring
right.
mod is mixed at 50-50. So it's doing just some like mellow frequency difference
Yeah.
to give you a bit
exactly.
of a
Yeah, and then
swing.
the second one I think might be on 100. So it's doing the more
So you're doing this similar thing to like the frequency shifter. If you like put the frequency shifter at 50% and you fine tune it up a little,
you get like a wiggle. That's a similar sort of. It is. They're both wiggling, but instead of it being like the wiggle coming from the phase in that case, where the pitch of it is phasing, this one is like I think imprinting that like low frequency on the source.
Interesting.
Oh, there's the ZS10 Pros. Shout out Ovoid for turning me on to these headphones.
Those are the ones you were talking about?
We can look at these real quick.
Yeah, they got...
Sure.
Folks, shout out these
Send us
in-ears.
free ones,
Yeah, I think
this is.
Whoever that mixing engineer that's on TikTok, I can't remember his name, who's kind of an asshole, and I love him for that.
The bald guy?
Kind of bald, yeah, but he's like mixed for a lot of people. He mixed the Home Depot track.
I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
He
Underbelly?
These out. No.
But that dude is amazing.
I want to say like 5 names, just for fun.
I can't remember his name right now, but
just so they know that you think they're assholes.
just to put it out there as if.
No, it's a good way. He's an asshole in a good way.
Okay.
Because people, on TikTok are always like, "This is how you gotta like gain stage and all this shit." And he's just like, "Look, I don't give a fuck."
Was that guy with the glasses, or like
well, there's that guy too.
Super low voice.
He's also one of my favorite.
Good.
I don't know that
Basically,
guy.
Anybody who talks shit on the majority of fucking Chads trying to talk about music production on TikTok, I love it.
Yeah, Underbelly's the You Suck at Producing guy. He's kind of like in a positive way. He doesn't like.
Sure, no, he's great. Mm-hmm. He makes good shit. He backs it up.
Okay, so these headphones are good.
Yeah,
People
5
are
drivers in
good.
each ear. They're like a lot better than like the $500 Sennheiser in-ears that I tested them against.
Wow, that's absurd.
50 is so cheap.
I
It is so
know,
cheap.
right?
I mean, it was only a matter of time. The Beats headphones that you see everyone walking around with. There was an engineer a couple years ago on TikTok, and he took them apart, looked up all the parts, and it was like $13 of parts or something.
Oh, I believe it.
That you could order from Dropship or whatever, and
just build your own beats.
Yeah, so it was only a matter of time before a good design started getting
DIY Beats.
Yeah,
imagine.
Yeah, as soon as you start making money, that's the second you get sued.
Have you ever used AirPods? Has anyone here used AirPods?
I've put them in. I've never produced on them.
No.
Yeah.
But I produce on laptop speakers quite a bit. So
Oh yeah,
yeah, like in my kitchen.
that's so sick.
I think it keeps me from like worrying about mixing, and I'm just like writing the track.
Yeah.
Instead
It's
of
a good
like
move.
spending an hour on a snare.
It's a really fun time.
Yeah, and
to
also
just vibe not on your shit.
Yeah,
and it makes it all like tangible for somebody that's listening on like a cell phone or on laptop speakers too.
True.
Where like if you can make a decent sounding idea just coming out of your speakers, then 90% of the people listening to your track are already happy.
Yeah.
Well,
Why even bother using speakers?
I mean,
no, I'm just kidding.
There's a big stage of being an artist, and I mean, producer in the traditional sense, probably not. But we're not in traditional land anymore. Like if you say producer to me, I assume you are a music writer or a songwriter to some degree. You're writing songs. So
You can kind of suss it out, I think.
Right, but you
usually what they're meaning.
right,
Yeah.
but you should if that's your plan. If you want to like go be an artist and like I'm fucking Bass Nectar, like probably don't be him.
Beta Nectar.
But if that's the kind of shit you want to do, then you got to learn how to write a song. Like that's number one.
Right.
The songwriting,
It's pretty important.
which you can do on laptop speakers all day. You can just write songs, write moody shit that hits hard. You can write anything, and then
right.
worry about
400
mixing.
of them, obviously.
Yeah, worry about mixing way later after you've like figured out how fucking to write songs. And I will not. I don't think that's correct. I won't say that it gets easier because it's still hard to write songs. Personally, it's not like
If it's too easy, maybe you don't care enough.
right,
Yeah.
or something's wrong.
Well, I mean, you just have new challenges in front of you. You're like, well, I can do all these things, but I kind of want to do this other thing. So then now it's hard again because you have to relearn a new thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes it fun.
Yeah, and it never ends. Like,
No, it never
or you're boring. Like you're making the same shit over and over again. Like,
Right. Which is
I don't
not
know.
good.
Yeah, that's what one of the things I'm most excited about now that I finally finished the album is being able to not feel guilty about going and watching tons of tutorials and learning new skills.
hell yeah.
Because that's been the last 6 months is like, I'll like learn something new and then I'll be like, all right, I'm going to go apply it to every track on the album.
Right.
And kind of like get lost a little bit.
Nice.
Speaking of which, quick plug, this Friday in Denver, I'm having an album release show
Oh.
at Space 2435.
2435.
Yep, I got a 10-track album, Fleeting Peripheries.
God damn.
That's coming out, and I'm excited to share it and
When is it?
start making new tracks.
Mm-hmm.
You said it's
go.
Friday?
Coming out
go.
this Friday,
Well, yeah, but the release party
and the
is-
show's this Friday as well. Yeah, it's I've got Slowmato, Kaiser,
Oh,
Yell
the boy.
Nats,
Yeah.
Yell Nats, and the Glitch
Shit.
Wizard playing.
If
Yell
people,
Nats. Stanley, that's funny.
folks, if you're watching this on
That's good.
YouTube, you are a week late.
Sorry,
Yeah,
guys.
070723.
To all the people that
I should
are
pop
listening
in.
right now,
if
you're
you-
late.
If you're on
Late.
Twitch,
You're late.
there it is.
Yeah, dude. Congrats, though. That's sick. 10 tracks is fucking no easy feat. Also,
That's tight, dude.
I'm trying to work on a little EP, and I have like one down and like 20 ideas that all suck. I just keep like, so the fact that you have like 10 songs that are probably sick as fuck, like that's you're putting in work, man. You're putting in work.
The idea folder is feeling neglected right now. Though.
Yeah.
I
bet.
keep
I
putting
bet.
short ideas in there, and then I want to work on them, and then I actually like feel guilty getting into the new idea.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How do you graduate a track from the idea folder into a different folder?
Oh.
For the last couple albums, I've kind of just like had like one or two finished tracks and been like, all right, I'm going to pick out the other tracks that I'm going to finish for this album that I feel like
Right.
kind of fit with this one.
That makes sense.
And it's kind of more just like committing than anything else and being like, all right, I'm going to stop touching these other ones, or maybe just like I'll only do creative work in the morning from like 6 a.m. till 9 a.m. and then when I get off work, I'll just like work on stuff that needs to get done for the album. Or when I get off the day job.
Nice
Right.
and disciplined.
Right.
That's good.
Schedule it out.
How long have you been working on it?
Some of the tracks are like 3 years old,
Oh, really? Damn.
but if I don't think something is good, I'll also just like take it and throw it back in the whip folder.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
True.
Mm-hmm.
True. That'll happen. It's devastating.
So everyone here in Denver, the 1,000 of you in chat right now, you all better be at that fucking event. We see you. We see you.
Holy shit.
We'll recognize those chat names.
So this shit's gonna be. You're getting the bump. Let's just say
this,
that.
this is gonna bump, dude.
This is getting the bump, dude.
Fuck yeah, man. That's awesome, though. What did you say the album was called again?
Fleeting Peripheries.
Fleeting Peripheries. You always have fun names. I like your names.
I like wordplay.
Yeah.
You have some nice like width things happening.
In the album?
Yeah. I would
Oh.
imagine fleeting peripheries
There's-
being
Oh, I see. I see.
out here.
I've been playing with
Yeah.
some new tools. I haven't gotten into Atmos yet. Although I do think like that like gaming
Gotten
gaming
into?
headphones are like the key entry point for anyone that wants to start fooling around with mixing in Atmos. But I've been fooling around with some new panning tools that kind of emulate some things like that. There's a tool by Sennheiser that's free called Ambio Orbit, and there's a few other tools like this, and kind of emulates psychoacoustic effects, like rotating around your head. So it has an azimuth control,
Yeah.
and then it also has elevation control that kind of like I think it's through EQ and maybe through phase. They have like, it feels like it's something's rising or falling above and below you.
That's wild as shit.
What is it called?
Ambio, AMBEO, Orbit.
Ambio Orbit. You know, I think I might actually have this.
I have Brower Motion, which is a panning tool. And it has like a rotary one that sounds sick. So this would maybe, it's the second link there. This would maybe give you like a little more control over the rotary.
Yeah, this one. Nice.
And there's like a little reflection engine in there and stuff too, but I mostly use it for the azimuth control.
Nice.
It looks like maybe they updated it actually.
Yeah, right. That looks. Oh, the interface.
And so you can see
elevation. It looks like you're on a plane.
On the rotation, there's also the width control. You can see like this blue bar that kind of expands out from the dot in the middle. That kind of controls like how wide the signal feels. If it feels like a point source, or if it feels more like an area coming in.
Sick.
That's cool as fuck. Okay, so you've been using the shit out of this then?
Yeah, I've been using this for a lot of panning, and then just like normal panning, mid-side panning tools, and
nice
regular panning.
Panning is sweet, dude.
It is.
Panning
pretty
is
fucking sweet, dude.
No doubt, dude.
I like that the reflections room drop down. It's got drywall.
It panning can make you a little scared sometimes when you play a show, though, because I've experienced sometimes where they send a mono signal to the monitors, and all of a sudden I'm like, wait a minute, there's something wrong. There's something going on wrong here.
No.
So I've actually started bringing those in-ears and using those at my shows.
Nice.
Right. That's kind of what I've been thinking. We were talking not only, excuse me, get this back to the main monitor here. Not only using a headphone splitter while we're DJing, but also just straight up in-ears to the point where it's just like he's just mixing the fucking headphones the whole time.
Yeah, it kind of like keeps you from being distracted by like, oh, should I turn down the high end, or is there just mad reflections from this brick wall that's 10 feet behind me?
Right.
Not only that, but you're not going to be as judgmentally affected by the reflection flying back in your face.
100%.
Like you're going to be more focused on just like the louder signal in your ears. 2, there's no like ridiculous thing on your head that you have to manage putting down or anything like that, which is also nice. 2, in a duo, now I get to listen in on his transition / him on mine, and we can kind of hear where each other's going and be like, oh, I see what. Yeah, let's go.
And then you can kind of help out too. You can be hands 3 and 4,
right?
And that's kind of what like what I use like a lot of automation in my clips. Like I might set up like 3 or 4 different things that are being automated so that my hands are free to do something else, like a beat repeat or some other part of the transition that I want to fine tune in that part. But yeah, it's like I saw a funny meme yesterday, and it was like some old art of someone playing like on a classical piano, and Jesus is behind him, and he's like, you know, if you sequenced this, then your hands would be free to tweak the filter.
Let's go.
Yes.
Dude. Dude, that is a really good little conversation right there. Because we've had a few DJs on the podcast recently, and oh, nice,
yeah.
There we are.
Oh,
dude, it got loud as fuck, right?
Yeah. I was
no more ringing. That's nice.
I didn't know what was happening. Excuse the audio there, guys. Sorry about that.
Lighting's fine. Okay. Yeah. So, what were we talking about?
You said that was a good little conversation.
Yeah. About what?
Shit.
The meme.
We were talking about how you guys having extra hands to tweak stuff. So you guys now hearing each other's transitions, you're able to like interact more and work together more than like being like, all right, I'm gonna wait for him to finish.
It's
like, I'm hearing he needs to put that high end down 2 more dB. Let me just doop.
Right, and you were saying if you do this thing in your track, then you have the freedom to use the
So I've been
CDJs.
I've been doing a lot of like edits and coming up with like clip automations for my stuff. So I know that like over 8 bars, this change is going to happen in the track when I trigger this one. Or I make track edits where I go and do those automations in the actual track and then print a new version of the track. Because like,
are you using Ableton for live performance?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh,
Triggering clips and shit. And
Okay.
like,
yeah, I use
That's
Ableton. I don't have access to CDJs to practice, and I just find that I have more versatility.
but
Oh, I could come over here.
Yeah, of course.
Hey.
yeah.
bit of a drive.
I like the versatility. I've been kind of getting used to
love
the DJM mixers because I use those as an interface. I plug in via USB and kind of like use the effects on there as like an extra tool as well. But I love
clever.
playing with Ableton.
Yeah, I've never tried that before. It seems fascinating. What do you? I don't really like get the concept, I guess. Like, are you in like session view and you have your tracks like broken down in
so I'm in.
stems?
I don't do stem mixing right now. I've been fooling around with it, but I haven't been doing it at shows. Like say I know I want to transition from a 120 BPM track into a 90 BPM track, and there's going to be a area where there's warping going on. I could just drag the track in and warp and have it warp with the BPM. But if you load in the track that you have, load in the end of the track you're transitioning out of, and then you do the tempo automation and all the warping in the track that you're working on, it sounds 100 times better. Because instead of it warping it all together as one piece, you're warping every individual piece. And you can kind of fine tune it and turn off layers that you want. It's basically like the step before committing to stem mixing.
And then what, you just got to hit
makes
play
sense.
at the right time so that
And then you would trigger the track, and like you would still do like EQ and volume
all your
across your
fun
transition,
things, but
certain things like, for example, just the drums being automated in would happen automatically, or pull out all the melodies from the front of the track.
It is
so
almost stem mixing. You're flirting.
Like,
You're
exactly
flirting hard.
And like,
You're on a
so the thing
show
that
by
keeps
show
me
basis.
from stem mixing is the side chain. Is like I really like a really tight volume side chain, and
Amen.
when you're stem mixing, it's like, am I gonna replace the drums for every single track with the same drum kit, or am I just gonna have a bad side chain, or am I gonna have no side chain? My current go-to is actually Soothe sidechain is kind of a solution right now because it's frequency dependent.
Right.
And it's mid-side, so it sounds like really clean.
Yeah.
I'm not multi-banding it because it kind of already is.
Right.
Yeah.
In
It's-
doing the thing in different frequency ranges. But I don't trust it enough yet. I'll have to
Right.
I have to like put it in, practice a whole set, and then print it out and look at the waveforms and check and decide how bad the crossover really is.
Yeah, you could be, for some reason in my head, I think it would be fun to, like, you were known that your shows are, like, harder than, like, your normal productions you put out. And it's only because, like, you decide to just not have a sidechain and you just put a black box on the master that everything just slams into together before it flies out. So it's every show is just a little crunchy.
Clipping's kind of an option. If I put a hard clipper on the master,
It's just slightly
and just,
crunchy. Like, it's kind of like, I like shit that's crunchy live. I like it a little, like, obviously don't distort the mixer, guys. Don't fucking push the red. But
At
if
what
it's-
point does the mixer actually distort?
well, sure. But also, like, there's
We
lots
could
of
test
things.
that.
There's lots of
We
things you
should
can
test
distort
that.
on the way
We've never
to the
pushed it.
speakers, and then the speakers themselves as well. But
Also,
having
when I
something,
was doing sound, what I would do is set a limiter right above when the mixer was set to 0. So if
Perfect.
you pushed it, and if you push it louder, it literally just never gets any louder.
Right.
So it's
right.
just
well, yeah, you could do that,
Let
or
that guy
have it
do his
where it's,
thing.
or
Yeah.
just let it like clip and actually kind of crunch a little bit. Anything to add the physicality of it being pushed without the speakers themselves being pushed, I think.
it's like listening to vinyl.
And it has a psychoacoustic effect for everybody there to be like, it's
Yeah.
louder than it actually is. It's like fucking, it's so
The
intense
dynamics.
right now.
It went from -4 lufs to -1.
Right, it's just like,
Right. You better know. You got to test for that shit, right? Like you got to before you print that. You have to know, like, if I push this heavy as fuck into some shit, is it going to distort bad or good?
Right. Yeah, I just try not to, like, I set a level and I try to never let it distort when I'm
you're
playing.
DJing.
Yeah.
And also
That's
fact
actually
that,
the move to do, guys.
Yeah, and just distort your tracks.
Yeah.
Personally, but if I had a venue,
Yeah.
it could be a good stylistic thing.
It could be.
right?
Yeah.
The Crunch House. Oh, the Scalper. Yeah, we just call the place the
Scalper.
Scalper.
Talking to Tipper, he does stem mixing and uses a compression sidechain on it.
You got to talk to him about that?
Wait. He
stem mixes with like a 6-stem split and
live.
And he uses a sidechain compression that's the same on everything. And he told me that he used no compression all the way through forward escape, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
There's no sidechain at all. I mean, if you could be automating, have the bass like
Right.
come on and just like
Easy.
The best sidechain is arrangement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just not
There you
have
go.
not have
That's a great way to put
hit, but
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, that's so sick. You got to pick his brain about that, though.
yeah, that's fine.
He was super nice.
That's cool.
We sat down. Me and Drew Hoopla sat down with him for a couple hours
Shout out
and kind
Hoopla.
of picked his brain.
Let's go. That's so sick. Oh,
When is he coming
at
on?
the
Super nice
festival, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, Tipper and Friends.
Yeah.
this
Okay.
past year.
Makes sense. Whenever he, I guess, moves out here or gets out here. Yeah, we talked about it though. We'll get him on. At some point.
Drew's. I think we're having a show in the winter where he's coming out here.
Oh, nice.
So we'll definitely have to get him on here.
Right. Yeah.
I don't
Shout out Hoopla.
understand
He's
this
killing it.
statement, Meatbag.
I don't understand it either, but I like the last one. Also, what's up, Meatbag? Happy 4th. The best sidechain is jazz. That is
God damn it, Meatbag.
correct.
What the fuck?
You actually just have a gate on your track that whenever the kick hits, a little jazz plays
Yeah,
and everything else turns off.
right.
Oh.
All right.
I could
It could work.
hyper jazz glitch.
Smooth
Hyper
jazz.
jazz.
Hard jazz hardcore.
Yeah, watch out some of the jazz glitch
Some of
stuff that
the-
Maxfield has coming out.
Ooh.
Oh, big
Interested.
sheesh. Big sheesh.
Interesting.
When a
Scat
gate
man.
triggers, a scat man yells.
Just any
Beep-doop-bop-beep-doop-boop.
any random scat man, not
Any
the
random
scat
gate.
man. A scat man. Guys, let's
Oh.
the details here.
Okay, so we have to compile a sample pack of all the scat men, and then put them in a rack,
Hmm.
and then trigger gates. Easy claps. Honestly, a lot of random fucking bullshit work though. Oh,
What-
the scat pack. I think that's a different thing actually. Meatbag.
Yeah, I believe that's a bag of I was gonna say trash, but literal doo doo.
Literal doo-doo.
Yeah, scat.
The scat pack, dude.
Dude,
That's
the
a
scat,
different.
the scat pack is
definitely a
good.
different
What if
pack.
it's just a bass? It's just a bass pack. It's just a bunch
Scat
of fucking
pack.
bass sounds.
That's good.
yeah,
That's actually good. That
You know?
Austin
Hey, yeah.
made.
yeah. That Austin made.
No, me and Dan can work on that one together. Like
Pipe
the
some
little-
quarter-inch
yeah.
tubing into my toilet bowl.
Now we're talking.
Hey,
Now we're talking.
that's a good diameter, honestly. I'd say
It's a quality diameter.
Yeah. 1/8 inches
For the right
pretty good.
price, I'll be whatever you want, says Meatbag Collector. Meatbag, I need you to be the Meatbag Collector. Actually, like we said the last couple weeks, we need you to be the Meatbag Selector.
Selector. Yes.
Yes, man. We do need a
Right?
Yeah, we
We got a
yeah,
sheesh.
we
but
need
not
an
a-
update.
You need a
Yeah.
little
Update.
just a little resample button so we can grab you saying that.
Oh.
You hold it down and it grabs it.
That would be insane.
We can't do that right now, but it would be sick as fuck.
If I had the other controller,
Someone's
You need
telling
an
a
input.
story and
You
you can
need a
just
separate input.
snag
Oh, yeah.
them saying a single word and
Yeah.
just
And then just spam it the rest of the podcast.
yeah.
That would actually be insane.
did you get? I saw,
Maybe annoying. Maybe.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
For sure. But
yeah, that could be a little much.
they're used to it. So you were saying you've been going deep on tutorial videos, learning some new techniques the past few months. Anyone in particular that like really stood out where you're like, oh, this is getting me going a little bit.
Data broth, pretty much any data broth tutorial. Or
Data broth.
they're not really tutorials. He kind of just like works in and makes stuff and doesn't talk. And I think that's what I prefer too.
Yeah.
Him and Paleac. Paleac's been making some cool tutorials.
Data broth and Paleac. Interesting.
It's my favorite period.
The Paleac period.
Yeah.
Paleac era.
The
How do you spell
paleo?
Paleac is P-A-I-L-I-A-Q.
Oh, I nailed it. Shot in the dark. Yeah, that's cool though. Data broth. That's funny. So Data broth is just doing like just 2 hour just streams of him just dicking around, and you're just watching like, oh,
Making generative stuff, making songs, just making sounds.
cool. Is he on Ableton or is he on Bitwig?
Bitwig.
Oh fuck.
You ever wonder if you were doing that shit, if people would actually watch it?
Oh, I do it. No one watches it.
I
No, I'm
watched
just
a few
kidding.
of them.
A little bit. I stream it. People watch it when they want to.
Yeah.
Dude, I tried
haven't hit
streaming. Nobody
1,000
ever fucking watched.
Yeah, I haven't hit 1,000 subscribers yet, so I don't think they really like push your YouTube out too much until then.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you've got some vids on your
I've got
YouTube channel though.
I've got some tutorials. I've got like how I do side chaining and a bunch of like full mix down videos where I just like go in, take a track that needs a mix and a master, and go down and edit every single channel in the project until I go through and then I do the master chain, and
That's sick. I would love to watch that.
I'm thinking about I've been generating some other tutorials that I'm thinking about putting on a Patreon, but that's like a long-term thing that'll more like be completed around like mid-winter time probably.
Oh, that's good though. You're actually planning it out.
Trying to make like a syllabus and plan some stuff out. But,
There you go. That's a good call. I've seen a bunch of like smaller artists start a Patreon, and it seems like they're just YOLOing it into existence, and like it's just like random and sparse, and they give up in like 2 months kind of thing.
For me, it's like I'm already like I'm trying to go through and quantify my processes, like come up with a specific way that I do things, and as I'm doing that, it's like it would be really helpful for me to record it. I make myself like outlines and stuff sometimes, but I don't. That's not really as intuitive for someone to follow with my shorthand and things that make sense to me. So taking that then and putting it into like a kind of like a step-by-step process where it's not like this is how you have to do it, but like this is my approach.
Yeah, dude. There you go. There you go. And I think I don't know, at least I kind of prefer that, watching tutorials from like artists I know, or like I just want to see their approach and like their perspective on it, you know, like that's where the sauce comes from. So I think that's a good move. Yeah.
I mean, the process is the sauce. It's like the fucking sauce.
Literally.
Yeah.
It's like the only thing, like when it comes down to it, the artist is basically their process, because you're getting the end point of like this thing, and hopefully it takes a minute.
You know what?
For them to figure it out, you know, like it's cool for someone to really fucking put work into a thing.
Right.
It's kind of annoying when it's.
You guys have anything that you've like always been like, I'm gonna put that in my process for sure, and then you just never do it? Like,
Yeah.
For me, saving,
reversing before snares and shit like that. Like
Yeah,
I was talking about
saving?
earlier.
Totally that.
Yesterday morning, I
Say
worked
saving?
I worked for 5
Saving
hours
is
on
a
a
good
track.
one.
Dude,
And
honey
didn't
bun.
save.
Damn.
No
what are you
backups.
doing?
No backups occurred, and then it
I'm
crashed.
gonna call you Poon.
And
Ableton.
I had everything that I froze down, but none of it's like in the spot I played it in.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just like I'm kind of just like telling myself that I'll come up with better ideas, not having it
Right.
where I played it in. But sad,
Such a good question.
sad day.
Interesting. That's just one of those things you just like never developed.
I'm always just like, you know what's going to be the keystone to my process is going to be incrementally. I do incrementally save on sessions, but just saving every 10 minutes.
I save constantly.
Yeah.
I'm always in Control S. Just
I don't know
whenever
why
I'm
they don't
just-
just have a setting in there that's like
Autosave?
save every 30 minutes.
Yeah. Oh my god, how nice would that be?
I need. Yeah, I'm a slut for the save.
Yeah.
I constantly am just
Save
using it.
Same.
after action. No, I'm just kidding.
I got
right.
super lucky where that was like instilled in me in like the first 6 months I started producing. I think it was maybe Seamless or something like. He was on some like 30-minute rant type thing and was just randomly talking about saving, and he was literally
I
just
love
like
Seamless. My man likes to talk.
Yeah, I know, right? He could go.
I watch him.
love that
I
guy.
watch him on 1.5 times speed
That's fair.
because he's got a lot of good things to say,
And you want them.
Yeah.
and I need to fit them into the time frame I have to watch the video.
Right.
Yo,
right.
Presonus has an autosave. Shout
What is
out
Presonus?
Studio One.
Yeah, it's a DAW. Presonus audio.
Is that what you're on, Meatbag?
I'm curious about Studio One. Do
think
you like
so, yeah.
Studio One, Meatbag?
Huh. Wow.
Obviously, he likes it if he's using it.
I encountered a producer that
It's like
uses
Cubase, I hear.
Audacity.
Okay. Oh, Jesus.
That's tough.
Oh my God.
tough.
He must be
He
a
likes
mega
it.
hipster then, right?
Audacity.
He's just like, nah.
I
I mean,
Oh,
if you're not
Audacity.
using Bitwig, then you're just kind of handicapped in general, you know?
True. He says he
An
loves
unbiased opinion. He really
Yeah,
isn't
yeah,
being
yeah.
paid for this.
No, not at all. Actually,
I know, right?
I am not being paid for this. Please
Yet.
pay me.
you. Come on.
Holy fuck.
Sponsor
Let's
us,
get it
Bitwig
going at some
and
point.
Kilohertz. Come on, guys.
Oh, Bitwig is fucking. So, you've had the Bitwig 5, and we haven't talked about this, but have you used the shapeable
Yes.
modulation LFOs?
Yes.
Oh,
There's,
that sounds so
How-
sick.
Is it
so
good?
the way it works is there's a couple of them. There's like
Oh,
there's an envelope one. There's an LFO one. Those are the only two I've fucked with so far. What's cool about them is you can
Envelope?
choose a random section where it'll loop or re-trigger.
like a sampler.
Yeah, which is kind of fun. So it's like whip, 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 whip,
Yeah, they
whip.
built,
Oh,
they built
that's
that into
so
kilohertz
fun.
now too in
Yeah,
Faceplant.
that
Yeah.
kind of I'm like,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is the sauce for like when I'm trying to just like throw a bunch of bleeps and bloops together with a bunch of randoms trying to make a melody come out of
Okay.
nothing.
Yeah.
Like it's having something like that to like add a little bit of that like re-triggerness is it adds to the rave vibe, and it's exactly what I'm like.
Does it
looking
feel
for.
accurate?
You can there's a little grid in there you can snap to, so it'll be on.
Can you
on
only
beat.
snap?
No, you can turn it
Okay,
off.
you could go otherwise.
You
Okay.
can use all the
But
same.
I mean, like,
you can use
when
all
you
the same
do
controls.
things, you feel like it's doing the thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Cool.
yeah. It seems smooth as fuck. It's super smooth, and you can click on it, makes it bigger, and you can,
Drawable
wild.
modulation is insane for like a DAW.
Yeah,
to
that's
have.
a really, really cool concept.
I want that
There's a
so
tool.
bad.
There's a tool for Ableton called LFO Sketch.
Okay.
Max
okay.
for Live device where you can just sketch, but there's a bunch of different LFO tools where you can kind of like draw something in.
Do you get to have like
that looks
curve
nice.
shapes like
Oh,
that?
look at that. You can keep adding to it, but yeah, you can fucking heavy grid, or you can fucking. Where's the snap tool? There it is. Now you can fucking do whatever you want. Oh, look at that! It's still snaps.
Is that the loop? Is that loop
Interesting.
range?
Yeah, that's the loop range.
That's
So
the loop.
Maybe hold
loop-
down control or something
That's
and
what
it
I was trying.
unsnaps.
Oh,
Controls maybe fine move.
well, you can fucking
Yeah.
do all your normal things.
So there is a way. We're just missing the command because when you do that, you're drawn in wherever.
of course.
Right.
right.
But that's just right there in the.
Well, it'd help if I didn't keep hitting the Windows key as opposed to Alt.
That would help.
You know.
Yeah, on a computer that's streaming and running the DAW at the same time.
Yeah. Well,
That's sick as fuck.
But yeah,
I'm so excited.
they're
to
fun.
fuck with
I've only
this.
fucked with it on one track so far. So
Okay.
Is there a percent?
kinda-
Is there a percent through tool on Bitwig? Like, say I'm sending a string of bursts of MIDI
Yeah.
into a channel, and I can be like, all right, I want to have 15% of these notes actually
It's-
make it through.
It's that. It's the bar on the edge of the modulator that you're just on it. It's that bar.
That's a percent through for the modulator. So if I have MIDI notes,
It's an
coming through,
essentially.
that's MIDI notes, or that's amount of the modulator.
That's a modulation.
yeah.
So if I have a burst of MIDI notes, like say I was just generating MIDI notes at a 30-second note,
Yeah.
and I want to have like only 15% of those notes actually make it through to the synth. Is there something that can do that?
I mean,
I have no idea.
an arpeggiator has like a gate function.
Yeah.
So you could randomize a gate on an
Oh.
arpeggiator.
You could use
and
this.
kind of generate the randomness that way.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
could do it that. I mean, I use a pageator for
You
that
could-
kind of shit all the time.
Ableton has the probability ARP as well.
I use a tool in a Max for Live tool called Deviate that lets me just like
Deviate?
have what I really like about it is it lets me like apply percentages of randomization to things. Like I can be like 10% of these notes jump up an octave.
Oh, that's fun.
10% of these
That's
notes
fun,
get
yeah.
a pitch bend.
That's
Oh,
sick.
shit.
All of these
You said it's called
notes will
Deviate?
yeah, it's in
fucking
it's
sick.
by I think maybe Polymath is the company. But they have a package called Seeds. I mostly use Deviate.
I like that.
There's sequencers and other stuff in the package, but
That's
You're on that Max
a
for
really
Live
nice
grind,
tool.
huh?
That's really nice tool.
I love Max for Live devices. I'm super excited talking to my buddy Skopik about the future of Max for Live, that they're implementing a VST export architecture. So you could have something in Max for Live and export it to a VST and use it in any DAW.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking
And I
about.
think there's like a ton of benefits to that. One, more serious developers are going to get into the Max architecture because they're going to see it as something that can reach their entire demographic.
right.
And I think that there's like some sort of bottleneck that goes on when you use too many Max devices in a project, and using them as VSTs instead, that may solve the issue
Right.
and kind of lock them into a place where they can't develop odd issues that another thing Ableton could fix. I can't just like throw 30 Ableton LFOs on a channel and expect it to like work perfectly every time I drag that channel into my project. I get a lot of like visually and physically the values not like stuttering and not changing smoothly.
Right.
And I feel like generating random numbers is not a high process task.
No, because Bitwig, you can fucking just drag and drop all day.
Yeah, those little modulator lanes look mighty pretty.
They're pretty darn nice.
Dan, you're totally
And-
going over to Bitwig.
I know.
It's
Now
happening.
they can go to every channel too, right? Or like I could grab one from I could have a
Apparently
modulator on
in
my
5.
kick channel and send it to everybody.
Yeah, you can kind of just like
That's
modulate
just
whatever-
happened, by the
Yeah,
way.
just happened?
yeah, it just happened. You can just
It was only within a grouped thing that
Yeah,
you
which-
could do it before.
which I would just
Within a signal.
I would just copy it and drag it into another one, and then just.
But it
if
doesn't
it's-
maintain
That's how
the
you
same
would do it
would-
before.
It would maintain a similar LFO, but if it was random, the same
If it's random,
being
you're
able
right.
to take one
Right,
random
if it's
value
random.
and have that in sync with on a
Correct.
bunch of different channels is mad cool.
That
Right,
is cool.
right.
Agreed.
Mad cool is a
Apparently
good
you
way
can
to
do
put it.
that. No.
Love
Yeah,
it.
new
Let's
new
go.
5.
Supposedly. I haven't even installed that shit yet. I'm excited.
I
It's-
downloaded the Spectral Suite demo and I fooled around with that a little bit, and I'm really excited about that.
Spectral is so
Yeah.
fucking weird. I can't get that deep yet.
Yeah,
I haven't had the
it always
time.
makes the same sound, and I'm not very intrigued by the sound.
Tools
So
the tools
far,
I'm
like-
excited about are like the splitting tools. The fact that I can pull the noise instead of just like making something sound like spectrally washy sort of thing. Like there's one tool in there that'll separate out the fundamental,
Yep.
separate out like the harmonies of it, and separate out the noise layer. And there's just like so many cool things that can be done with
Right,
that.
that's true.
There's a synth that I've been using that's just like a VST by Dawson called Novum. And yeah, pretty cool name.
Great names.
Initially sounds like clickbait, but really cool idea. You drag in a sound. They have their own library as well, but you drag in a sound and it resynthesizes it into 6 spectral layers. And then you can turn on and off those layers and affect them with grain engines.
Oh,
I love that shit.
Very cool.
I will use those spectral tools to.
So you
Yeah. Okay.
here there's 6 layers. So there could be a particular tonality you
cool.
like about a sound, and you could just kind of end up you don't get to choose how it isolates, it does it automatically, but you do get to choose how you process the layers, where in this like grain tree, and you like access them, and how like the grains go together.
Damn.
It's definitely like
Sound clay.
What?
something where like what you're making, you aren't going to go into this and have like a goal sound and make it. It's more of like exploratory,
Right.
For
right,
sure.
Right.
Nice.
Right.
which is fun.
The UI looks really nice too.
We are used to summoning audio layers into a single audio file.
It's like how when you drag a audio file into Vital or Serum, it can turn it into a wavetable. It does that with this, but it also spectrally splits it into 6 parts.
Nice. Fucking sick.
That's fun looking.
Oh yeah, that looks so cool. No of them.
That's fucking Pink Floyd's logo, dude.
Bro.
Gonna get sued.
I like using those spectral tools. Something like this is what I would love using it for. I like throwing them in front of like a reverb for whatever random sound I'm using as just like a cabinet, essentially. Like grabbing little bits of frequencies and just using them for a reverb or something like that. And keeping the sound kind of more raw.
John says that the
But I would do it.
Did you
both.
download
I would
5,
do the
John?
other thing as well.
Yeah, I mean, we could try real quick.
Yeah, spectral tools are great.
John tried
I
Bitwig and he hated it.
I've been getting into color bass, making
Oh, have you?
some like color bass
Damn.
D&D.
Let's go. Color Dan. Color Eos over here.
And some of it's like spectral tools, and then a lot of it's like resonators and vocoders.
Okay.
Right.
But like
I know pitch map is a huge one for that kind of sound.
Can I make like a huge UKG garage color bass tune?
big
Fuck
time.
yeah.
Oh,
How
let's do
would that work?
Let's
That'd be
do it.
sick.
Well, a lot of
I
it's
gotta
like
be learned on
imprinting,
what those noises
imprinting
are.
textural tonality on something tonal, or imprinting tonal
on textural things.
onto textural things.
Interesting. So like, yeah, you want like a prettier, like kind of vibes. You want like
You could do sharp. You could do really sharp metallic quick stuff too.
the tonal though has like a melodic quality to it, I assume.
Yeah.
That's what makes
Ideally.
it colorful.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like where static sounds that like are like classic dubstep sounds work great into it and sound like pretty unique, like
Hell yeah.
just like grunts and woofs and stuff.
Woof.
Grunts. Like
One tool I started working with a new tool
Here
this
we go.
past week called Resonator that
Put it
lets you just
here.
like send in your chord MIDI
Oh,
into anything
yeah.
and kind of like it's like Corpus
And
or
now
something
it's
like
here.
that.
So you do it, John.
yeah, but you get to literally like make chords
Gotta
or
update
whatever.
my gay.
So what you do is you add it, because in 5 you get these new little.
You have to add the modulator
modulator
separately.
here.
You can't use the one in front of the
Yeah, you can't-
VST.
you can't
You have
use
to use a
this one.
track wide
You got to use this is project wide.
project.
So you
Oh,
can
it's
have
specifically
project
called
wide.
project.
Yeah, and then you can have track wide ones,
Oh.
and you can also have fucking just macros now
Phenomenal.
for anything, which is so
Oh.
good. And once again, you can just sit here and
So you can apply that shit to the master.
yeah.
Damn.
This is why I
Dude,
can't
the
hang out with
masters.
producers.
Bro.
I
So
can't
ridiculous.
save money and hang out with producers.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
It's like alcoholics.
That is pretty cool right there.
Folks, that kind of brings us to our last
Wow.
Oh wow.
segment of the
Segment.
show,
Besides
where we
the fan favorite, right?
what?
Lightning round.
Yeah, no, that's what
The
I'm
fan
that's
favorite, he said.
Rapid
fan
fire.
favorite?
Rapid
Oh,
fire.
The rapid fire.
Rapid
The-
lightning.
Yeah, the lightning round.
Lightning
It's
fire.
called rapid fire, guys. It's
Is
not
it?
called lightning round. Yes.
No, wait.
You two
What-
have.
wait, what
you
was the
guys
first
keep-
thing I said?
Rapid fire. Well, no, I don't know, but I first called it rapid
I think
fire.
I said a third thing.
Anyways, we can go back to the books and look. All right, guys.
We should can. It's on YouTube.
So we're gonna ask a series of questions. We all gotta answer. So does chat. It's not like we wait for everybody to answer. It's kind of just like
Yeah, we'll just send it.
it's the blitzkrieg. Yeah,
Keep
well,
it short
maybe.
and sweet unless you want to go deep.
And then right after that, we're going to see who can sing Pledge Allegiance
God
the fastest.
Done.
Damn, that was fast. But
Oh.
it has to be after this.
You guys want to see me do a flip?
Oh,
No, that sounds dangerous.
you literally just like.
In here, it would be tough.
Done.
Meatbag wanted to see you do a kickflip. He said that earlier.
Yeah, he did.
Oh.
Yeah. Classic.
Drunk producing.
Oh, just yes or no?
I don't really do it.
How do you feel about it? Yeah,
Fine.
you don't really do it.
I don't. I don't really do it much at my house. I don't mind it,
Word.
but I don't find that I like get a lot done. My best
Yeah.
ideas
Bet.
come first thing in the morning.
Yes, they do.
Mm-hmm.
More-
I think it's fun, but yeah, nothing ever gets accomplished.
right.
It's more so just like kicking it with the buddies, and you have
Right.
you're just
making it goofy.
making it
Yeah.
goofy. Yeah.
Yeah,
I might
think
have a
there's
couple beers
rare-
and get creative, but
There you go.
like
Yeah.
play an instrument a couple times. But I don't really do my best work.
Yeah.
True. True. I like a little. I like a little.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little touch.
Just a little
Keep
bit.
it. I
You
keep
could
it going.
save presets of just modulation. That is a smart idea that John just said in chat. All right.
Oh yeah, you could have like the one that I really want to have across like a whole track is like an eighth and a dotted eighth, or like something
Right,
like that,
right,
where I
something
have two
that's-
interplaying modulations that then I can distribute in a way that makes more sense than me just putting that eighth and dotted eighth on every single track and having 60 different values
Right.
changing around.
right. Right.
And you have to copy paste all the modulation
And when you
or
make-
the automation.
And when you make an edit, you have to go and like edit every single one. That's fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
Wave shaper or M wave shaper or Trash 2. I'm assuming this question is for just wave shaping in general.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go M wave shaper. It's
Yeah,
pretty-
same.
I fucking love that plugin. Also, my Trash 2 like always bugs out.
Oh.
I could do a lot more stuff with Trash 2.
Yes.
But if I'm just like trying to do a quick shaping of something, I mostly use like Free Clip or V Clip by Ven Audio,
Oh yeah.
and just
yeah.
soft or hard,
There you go.
and kind of like
Stop it.
Doesn't really matter where you're at. You can still clip it, you know?
Right.
Right.
yeah.
I'm gonna go M Wave Shaper because
Okay.
I've never used Trash 2.
It's sick. It's fun to
It looks fun.
fuck with.
I just saw Scope using it.
Honestly,
He's really big on it, I guess.
I'm going to say it. It's trash. So sorry.
Ah.
Me too. I mean, it too.
M Wave Shaper. I don't even use it.
Although I don't trust Trash 2 on a track not to like me open up the
Correct.
project and it be
Correct.
completely reset.
Correct.
True.
Always flatten that bitch. Always flatten that bitch.
That sounds
Bright
terrifying.
sounds or dark sounds?
Bright. I like 'em bright.
Like, is this like happy bright, or are we talking like?
Take it as you will.
Do you mix your masters like this or like this?
I like well then bright.
I think bright
That's
is
case,
where I'm
yeah.
at as well.
Yeah,
Nice.
I like
I like bright.
I like
Yeah.
dark. Like I like dungeon dub shit,
Right.
but like I don't make dungeony dub shit.
Mm.
When I do, sure it's dark, I guess. But right now, like most of the time, I'm trying to make like very flat mixes
Mm-hmm.
that are going to slam.
I want it to be loud.
through speakers.
And bright equals loud.
Yes,
Right.
I want to.
Obviously.
They're dry for a reason. I'm trying
If
to make
it's
the
bright,
room
it's
sing.
loud, guys. Just apply that. It'll work for you every single
Just
time.
boost the shit out of your 4K. It'll sound great. It'll
you
be
just
loud.
push that shit up there.
Right.
Just really like tickle the ears. That 4K.
What's your go-to gate for most
Oh.
things? Gate
Gateway.
plugin.
I don't use
Yeah.
praise.
I was
Pro G or just the stock Ableton gate?
Yeah, I was using Pro G for a lot, and then I started using the Bitwig gate one, which is just the stock one, basically. Yeah,
There you go.
works great.
Yeah, don't need anything fancy. When
Once,
I'm
yeah,
using
once
Gate,
once you kind
usually.
of, yeah, it's just such a great utility, that thing.
I don't really use gate because I just flatten and then just cut the audio. So I guess that's my gate manual.
Yeah, and it depends.
manual
Like you
chop.
could use a gate for a bunch of different things. So,
Sure.
Sure. Reverb.
if Kilohearts and Melda went to war, who would win?
So FL Studio just
Damn.
bought Melda. So
That's very smart of them.
They've got a
Yeah.
pretty big army now.
Jesus
True.
Christ, yeah.
It's true, they do.
Whoa.
That's an
Very
empire.
But
Whoa. Does that mean we won't have
liked
it
how you phrased
anymore?
Kilohearts has that cutting edge
Oh, it
tech.
better not.
So
Yeah, does that mean they're gonna not sell their
They've been
plugins.
running on low money this whole time, you know.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing. FL
Yeah, for
has
sure.
has like one of the biggest followings of any DAW,
Right.
That's true.
and they make more profit than a lot of the other DAWs, which means they have
Interesting.
money to put into R&D too.
Oh, which is funny because it's one of the cheaper
As
DAWs,
long
too.
as it's not like FL
something
only.
right.
If anyone's
Bullshit.
interested in the the buyouts that are going on in music right now, there's a really good Ben Jordan YouTube video that just came out all about it. About he went in and figured out like who was buying what, and
Interesting.
he always kind of like makes his own interpretations of what that could mean in the future.
Right.
Very well
right.
researched guy.
That's fun.
Great question.
Right. Oh, wait. Meldo. That's my answer.
Oh, okay.
Same.
Kilohertz,
Nice.
because I love them.
Yeah. They have phase plan also.
I would be more sad about Kilohertz losing.
Yeah.
Melda.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna play Devil Advocate because it doesn't matter. They both still exist. Festivals or intimate venues?
Do they?
I like intimate venues.
Intimate.
To play, not go to. We'll
Or as
say.
I call them,
Both.
Thunder Dungeons.
Both. Thunder Dungeons.
Well, I've never played a festival.
Thunder Dungeon.
I've never played a festival, so again, small venues.
I prefer playing outside to inside is what I would say.
Oh.
Because there's less issues.
Right.
That sounds nice.
Sonically.
Although there's kind of like
But there is rain. That's
there
a
is
big
rains.
issue.
That's a huge issue.
There's
And sun.
Ambers.
There's sun heating up your gear.
Yeah.
Sun.
And
Ugh.
gear.
But solution to the small venue thing, movie theaters. I'm playing my first movie theater show in
What?
2 weeks.
That's a thing?
One source is bringing a function system to a movie theater, and
are the seats getting pulled out?
no. So,
Everyone's
but there's
just
still
assigned
there's still
seating?
areas. No,
Well, I
no,
guess
there's definitely still lots
there's
of room,
still
to stand.
Yeah, all the
and
seats
you
pop
can
up.
stand in the aisles. There's the aisles are very big,
Right, because the
they're
seats
made
pop
for
up.
people to
It's
have
just-
their
yeah.
legs out and have people go by.
Oh.
Movie
Do you get to play
theaters,
visuals also?
streaming, yes, on like a 8K stream, a screen.
And the speakers are crazy good too.
Well, we're bringing in speakers.
Oh,
The
I guess that's
but
right, too.
I don't think that it's out of the question to use the speakers that are already in a movie theater, and that
Yeah.
those wouldn't sound great.
Yeah. That's
And
sick
there's
as
more
fuck.
sound deadening in a movie theater than in any small venue you've ever been to.
yeah, that's I've never thought about this.
And like
Plus-
streaming's destroying movies. No matter what the movie theaters are trying to say in the news,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
there's like 3,000 or something went out of business like over the
Oh, I'm
past
sure.
year across
Not
this
only
country.
that,
Yeah, AMC altogether almost just completely went out of business. Like,
So like
you
if
could
they
throw-
could make a little money throwing shows
you could throw a festival
in
every night. You could have like 7 different venues going for 3 days straight. And there's a lobby. You can go get popcorn.
Everybody
you can
could
go fuck
see
in the
everybody.
oh
bathroom.
my god, right? Yeah,
Everybody plays at a different time every day,
yeah.
and then so you could just go to the same.
Yeah, wouldn't it
theater
be
every
cool
day.
if like or like a touring artist that has like is playing like a big show on like the Friday Saturday night on Monday through Wednesday, they're already like around and in cities. They could go do like evening shows where it's like you're not destroying your if you're like a big artist that's playing like a 10,000 20,000 person show, playing a 100-person movie theater doesn't like destroy your draw, you know?
No.
So that could just be
100%
an
movie theater
added
sounds
thing that will
great.
give that intimate experience to people who want to go see that
Right.
Plus, you
totally.
could probably pack more than 100 people in there.
Oh yeah.
legally. I don't know about that, but
Yeah, like how much weight? Can
I don't know
those
what
things
fire
actually
code
hold?
is, but I'm sure that there's like
Yeah, you're
a
right.
decent number.
You're right.
Well, there is section CH 134.
Right.
And
Right. It kind of
it's got
does go
some
into
details
it.
in there.
Yeah, it does go
Oh,
into it.
It's very it's
Paragraph
You,
four.
you
tough
signed
on
it. You
the-
didn't read it, but you
Yeah.
signed it.
Oh yeah.
also,
we
my
read
answer
it.
is festival.
Oh, okay.
I had Chat GPT read it for me.
Give me the
There
Cliff
you
Notes
go.
chat.
Yeah.
What's your favorite noise?
Favorite noise.
Fart.
Fart noise in a
Took the- a
Tesla.
A fart noise.
Took the air right out of me.
That's a good one.
Restraint says the Russians. I
The Russians,
I don't
that's
know
your
which,
favorite
I don't know which
He
question
said
that's.
that to an earlier thing.
I mean, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
that
take
was
it as
the
right
way
now.
you're-
The Russians are my favorite noise as well.
That was
You're now on a watch list.
Melda's Russian
Yeah.
end. I think that's what he's saying.
I will
In
say
the Russian battle.
my favorite noise
good one.
Is it silence?
Silence.
That's good.
Yeah.
No, excuse me. I was
that's
rubbing my
pretty good.
nose. I had an almost sneeze, and it just sat there at the almost moment. You know, those are
Yeah.
the worst. I like the faceplant one a lot. It's pretty nice, but
Oh, what's your favorite
Oh,
noise generator?
You're literally talking about.
yes, but also like you like pink noise, white noise, brown noise. You can say one of those.
I thought
too
you were
if
just
want.
saying like any noise in all of existence. I was like,
meant
I got 3 lined up. I was gonna say sub drops.
No,
I like them.
Phase Plan, I would definitely have to agree, is the best generator.
that. But what I've been
Yeah.
also doing is I'll go and grab serum noises and just
Yeah.
put them in a sampler in faceplant.
Nice.
And put a couple of them together because serum is dumb and you can't have multiple noise oscillators.
My favorite noise generator is my Zoom H2.
Oh,
Like, you know, go stand out in the wind.
Yeah, exactly.
I do
like my
totally,
favorite,
I do
too.
keep that thing on me.
Yeah,
And,
I mean, we have a couple
hikes.
recordings of white noise, and I use them.
I use them all the
by,
time.
by white noise.
the
I mean
fern
wind.
filters in the woods are crazy with the wind.
Oh,
I'll tell you
believe it.
what.
I believe it.
that sounds great.
Yeah, that's what I use for noise too. A lot of the time, I just grab my recordings of shit and loop a
Yep.
section that I like. I like a loop of a noise,
Whoa,
you know, that I know is a loop.
Caleb, you
'Cause
did a thing.
I like things being able to. I like a little bit of a loopiness to a
Give it-
tune
kinda
that
give
I'm
it some
gonna
rhythmics.
DJ.
Give it some rhythmic aspects,
Yeah,
not just
even though it's a subtle. Obviously, it's like infinitely subtle, but like it's doing a good thing.
Well, guys, we just did like an hour and a half.
Yeah,
Wow.
we did it.
A longer one.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Dude, this was good. It was good.
Thank you so much
Fucking-
for coming on.
Eos's album's coming out so soon. It's gonna be fucking unbelievable.
070723
Oh.
for the YouTube crowd.
It's going to be at space 2435.
It could be 2345 or 2435.
Okay, guys.
Linktree.
Yep.
That's the name of the venue.
Yeah, it's like a venue warehouse space. They're bringing a turbo sound rig into.
What's your
Okay.
at?
Turbo.
What's your ad on Instagram?
My at is EOS_music.
There you go, folks.
Eos,
You heard it
man.
here
people.
first.
Links in the bio.
The guy's a legend.
Go and give him a follow. Go ahead and give us a follow too while you're at it. The subscription
like
and all
and
the
subscribe.
things. We love you. We'll see you guys
Send
next week.
nudes.
Bye.
Later.
Don't try too hard, but try enough.